Hey, how's it going, everybody? You ever have one of those days where you just are pissed off, not pissed off at the world, but you're just like, I just had a moment. Oh my gosh. Merry Christmas to you guys too. Thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate you guys so very much. Oh, actually, you guys are the only reason I even scheduled. So, um, I was like, well, I could, I thought about it yesterday. I don't know. It's Christmas time and it doesn't feel like it. Today's my daughter's birthday. She's 19. Um, it's crazy. It's been almost 2 decades since I've had a little baby, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of all my kids. Um, they were dealt quite a bit too, and they're very resilient children, and I'm grateful for that. Thank God. Um, I know I know there's people in here that are also grateful for their children, and then I also know there's people, in here that, um, it's not such a merry time for you, and I'm sorry, and I understand. I understand. So, anyways, I'm just a big wet blanket and a Debbie Downer. I know, right? Not really. I'm a realist though, and there were 6 years that I was estranged from my son, and those were uh, horrendous. And I mean, I don't think there's a loss greater than grieving someone that's still alive. And you're like, well, it gets crazy. So, I mean, there's also grandparents who are estranged from their grandchildren that just because children are pawns in these streets. Straight up. People use children and people basically as pawns, and that's not cool. It's not cool. So if it's you, stop it. Do some kind of verbal resolution or something. Yeah. I think the more people that kids have to love them, the better. The better. I had like 15 sets of grandparents, it seems like. And it's still, I mean, I just it was like so many presents at Christmas time. Just saying. But on a serious note, I was very blessed in that sense. And, I had a lot of people that I looked up to, that um really loved me and made me feel special. And oh, hey, Justice Jane, Merry Christmas to all and our fur babies. I don't have one, but to all you guys and your fur babies. I mean, I appreciate them. I love them. I'm scared to get them. I want one. Maybe when we get our newer place, that would be great. So I don't know. I just get it's the attachment part. I don't want to attach to something and then lose it. Okay. But I get it. It's a part of life. I get it. I get it. Merry Christmas to you. Is it Brigitte or Bridget? Hey, Marshall Dove. Hey, Mods. Yeah, hey, Mods. Hey, Robinette and Fancy Nancy. Merry Christmas to you guys too. Thank you. Love you. I was so glad to see KJ back, y'all. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Okay. Thank you, baby Jesus. I mean, I really, I don't know. I'm starting to feel emotional. So let me just stop. Hey, NF mom. Thank you. Making Christmas candy tonight? Is it cinnamon? Because my mom used to make the house smell like cinnamon candy. And I'd bring it to school and everybody loved it. It was hot, like hot cinnamon candy. I baked a cake. I haven't icing. I haven't put icing on it yet, but baked a cake. Just been doing all the things. Overwhelmed. Oh, well, not I mean, just physical, and, you know, it's quite a load. Strokes suck. I'll just say that right now. Strokes, they really are shitty, you know, but it is what it is. Somebody's gotta say something to, divert my mood, okay? Jason's been sleeping, the past couple hours, and so I've been alone with my thoughts, and sometimes that's dangerous. Hey, be back. How are you? Hey, Donna. Hey, girl. And hey, Kay Layla. Good to see you. I haven't seen TC. Where's she at? um, I think about different people and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this person or that person. Trust me, I know we have our own lives. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it's just nice and Zero as well. Zero also. This, I think, will be her first Christmas without her husband. And so, again, it's not happy for everybody, but just know that you always have a chair to pull up here. I know it's not much, but I'm always here. I am, and I understand. But I hope that you do have the best holiday possible, you know, for what it is. I know there's a lot, I'm missing my family members that passed away. It just doesn't seem the same at all. Not that I even adhered to holidays in the first place, but when people start dying, um, yeah, it changes the dynamics. Hey, Trace. All right, I made it back to the top, I think. Yeah. Oh man, it's good to see you though, NF Mom. I really don't know what to talk about. So besides Lori and her damn handwriting, right? I watched Megan Connor. Um, I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. Tell me what's wrong with me. Besides maybe a little depressed, that's what I'm feeling right now. Just being honest. I'm depressed about these wings. What is going on? Me same, you know? Yes, that's what brought me here, for real. I was like, well, so whenever okay, during Chad's trial, remember how we had the celebration of life for Tylee and JJ in Rexburg, and I went up there for that weekend or whatever. And so, after the celebration of life, we moseyed our way to Boise, and yeah, it was the first night there, not Rexburg, but there. And Megan came by, and that's when I first met Megan for the first time. And I was so relieved. I was so relieved. And I also just wanted to, and just like probably spin her head around a couple times, but not on purpose. Just there's so many things I wanted to talk to her about, or um, just bounce off of her and see what her take of it would be. Yeah, I really appreciate her opinion and her honesty, um, for real. And she's very wise and kind, and she's very well spoken, and she's just smart, um, and very empathetic, But so, I mean, I had kept up with interviews and things like that Megan had done, because I remember whenever Lori's trial, a whole year before Chad's, that's when Megan first did her interview with Justin Lum, and I remember Mom texted me the link of Justin Lum's interview with Megan, and she was like, "She's saying the same thing that you're saying." I'm like, "Well, not." She says it much better, you know, but it was like it was a relief. It was a relief. She is the Relief Society. You hear me, Megan? Anyways, but I was grateful. I am grateful that she came onto the scene for real because it's lonely. um, especially researching where I do research. It's very dark and I don't even wanna believe it, much less try to convince anybody else, you know? It's so sad, but that's not doom and gloom. It's not just all doom and gloom is what I'm saying. You also see the beautiful side of humanity. But to get back to my point, which was, you know, whenever Megan came and to the condo where I mean it's a rental or whatever that my parents had gotten for both trials, Chad and Lori's. Well, this is after the celebration of life for the kids. Megan came up and um I want to say court was the next day. I never did wanna see Chad. I was just like, "I'm really okay. I can watch it on TV, and he'll blink, you know, 80 times the whole day. He'll fold his hands, and he'll do his weird toad I don't know. Toad face, frog, slug, what do we call him? I'm already forgetting him, see? Yeah, girl, he had a stroke in October of 2022. Shit's been crazy ever since. But it's, yeah, talk about a whole 'nother need for therapy right there. I'm just like, "Oh, traumatic brain injury? Oh, shit." Yeah, it's different. It's very different. Anyways, I love him. Nothing against I'm not saying anything bad or whatever. It's just it's a lot. I'm being honest. It's a lot. I don't want him to jump on here and feel guilty or something, you know. I'm not trying to do that. I love Jason and he's always been a rock and I mean, it's just you got to step up sometimes. um it's just a lot. It's a lot. But so yeah, Megan and anyway, so she came up and she brought, Larry some scotch, I wanna say it was scotch or whiskey, I don't really know, and, she brought him a, uh 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but it was like a coon-ass version, it was a, Cajun I don't know the name of the book, but she got it, and I remember I recorded Larry reading he read the whole damn book, and he read it with his, you know, his little accent, he, laid the accent on thick, you know? We can do that sometimes, yes, yeah. When we need to say Boudreaux and Thibodeau, yeah. But anywho, and so Larry read the whole book, and I was recording it, and of course, my ghetto iPhone, okay, that I just got a new one, thank God, it's got a lot more storage, so I'm just trying to see how much I can peg it out. But, at that time, it said storage full, and it's always when I'm never around like, I'm never around my computer or my just, you know, I don't really know much about that kind of cloud technology, I don't get it. It's weird. But anyway, so I didn't get the video of him reading the book that Megan bought him. And so I think maybe tomorrow, maybe I'm just tentatively saying this. I don't know for sure. Like, you know, I don't want to hold anybody hostage or anything until they show up or whatever, but I think it's a go. And if, you know, if so, then, you know, I'll go live sometime tomorrow evening whenever I do see mom and Larry and Ash and you know, it's just gonna be a very intimate, just yeah, night. I need it. I need just to be around my parents without all the distractions, you know. But yeah, so I think maybe Larry might read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," Cajun, the Cajun version that Megan got. So I hope maybe I can send her a link. Hopefully she's not busy. Maybe she can break off. I don't know. I don't know. It's just up in the air. But I would love to have Larry on and just be Larry, you know? Yeah. I think it would be good to get on the cameras. Yes. And actually not run out of damn storage space. Right? Right? Yay. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, that's about all I can do. I've been working on my Julie Rowe video, y'all. Editing sucks, especially whenever you are me. And when I turn this camera on, when I push live, anything that and I mean, I used to be really good at that. I used to be good, like, put me on the spot, put me under pressure. And now I'm just like, I freeze. And I'm just like, and I get all tongue-tied and nervous, and I mess up a great deal. Well, this time is no different, okay? So I have been not to mention I switched phones during all this, and so I had it on my iPad, then I was editing it on that. It's so hard to handle because it's, like, this big, and I'm just it's crazy. And then I what do you call it? I dropped or whatever? I drop. Whatever. Oh my god, you know what I mean? And I sent it to my phone today, so I have it in there. I went through it, edited it, some more, just listening to it. I have a habit of, like, cutting it too short, like, I cut into things, and I'm just like, "That's a hard edit now." And so I'm my own worst enemy, and, you know, I don't know. But I have to do a lot of editing because, I mean, I screw up all the time with my words. And reading, and some days it's really, like, good, but it's very rare, and then some days or most days it's bad, and I'm just like, "Crap," if I have the time, I feel like doing it, not on camera, but I'm, talking and reading and, you know, discussing just without you guys because it's pre-record of Julie Bro. It's it okay, so I have I have an interesting and maybe I'm late of probably so, but okay, hear me out. Please. It's all I want for Christmas is to hear me out one more time. Hey, beach bum. How are you? How many emotions? Oh god, one for each of the 12 days of Christmas? No shit. No shit. Oh, you guys rock. Proper cropping, the most important tool for editing. Hmm, yeah. Well, and I didn't have room for, like, Adobe, I like using what is it called? Premiere Rush, I love it, but I didn't have enough storage space to have it on my phone, my other phone, and I have it on this one. So, anyways, and then as I was getting into Julie Rowe, which I'm gonna tell you my theory, I was, getting into Julie Rowe, I was reading, my whole thing was to just set out and read this 69-page document that was written by a former no, not a former, uh, an a fellow LDS member of the church who was I think they were asked, I don't even know, I think it might be a guy who wrote it, but I'm not sure, I don't know. But it came out in, like, 2020-ish, I think. I'm not sure, but this document is jam-packed full of Julie Rowe documentation from the time she came up on the scene, her entire presence, and I mean entire presence from beginning to end. Thank thank you, person who created this document. Um her entire presence on AVAL when she started talking about her near-death experience, even though she claimed to have had one in 2004, she didn't start talking about it publicly or on that forum, AVAL, until, like, I wanna say, don't quote me on this, but it was, like, 2014, I think. So a whole 10 years, and then, 10 years after her near-death experience, and then you're gonna talk about it? But you've only made 40 posts and you kinda lurked for a little while, Julie, and then allegedly, and then, And it just I'm telling you, just the timing and just looking at it in the grand scope of things, that's kind of my thing, I think. I think. It just really looks like there is a shadowy there's a shadow group, a shadowy group of people who did belong to the church and still do. Some still do. Some were excommunicated. Some were convicted of red rum of my family. Some were convicted of child or CA of other members, other family members, Ruby, Jody, Chad, Lori, the whole and then but it just seems like this group, y'all, this group of LDS Satanists, okay? I'll just say it. I'm not scared. Prove to me who you worship, because I already see the evidence. Okay. There's that. They're inverted, and it just seems to me, how whenever the church, I'm just gonna, be kind of vague with this, but you know how the church did when they got fined from the SEC for having those like shell companies not paying the taxes, and they had to pay like a $5 million fine. And they're just like, okay, no big deal. We just can pay a $5 million fine. We just didn't want to, basically allegedly document or put our numbers out to the public, because then our members would see what we're doing with their tithing money, their 10%. And we just couldn't have that. We were saving them. Anyways, so the shell companies, and I don't mean like the petroleum. I don't mean that kind of shell. I mean like catfish. Like, oh, here's you a organization and a whatever code, and you just answer the phone. It's just the one job. You only have one job. Anyway, so there's that. Okay. It just, to me, if I'm looking at this like I am, I'm looking at this as if these are people who are accelerationalists. They are wanting to and trying to and urging, they're provoking, they are bringing on this new world, new Jerusalem, this new world. And they want order. Okay, so the NWO. All right. That is their second coming. Okay, when Lori said, "Oh, I'm ushering in the second coming of Jesus Christ," that equals New World Order. Okay? All right. When you hear Tim Ballard saying it, I'm saying it is the NWO. When you hear all these people say it and they're wanting to usher it in, okay, the second coming of Jesus Christ, da 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 da. So I'm like, are they preppers or are they Satanist preppers? Um, are they accelerationalists? Either way, they're inverted. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. They are inverted people, and they are masking themselves as good people sitting next to you in church, sitting or going and worshiping next to you in even your temple. Okay. And they are pretending to be good, um, trustworthy, loving, your God worshiping people, but they're not. They're inverted, and they're staring at your kids. Okay. That's all I'm saying. They are staring at your kids. And it's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. So if that's my goal, is to usher in this second coming of whatever, okay, that's what that means. So I would say that they are the group of Gadianton robbers that they project onto everybody else and say, "Oh, no, no, no. Beware of the Gadianton robbers," and the secret combinations. Melanie Gibb, got my eyes on you, hooker. Anyways, so you have these like-minded people who are doing this, who are trying to bring on the end times, doomsdayers, whatever you want to call them. I call them Aunt. I call her Aunt Lori. Okay, that's what I call her. Uh, yeah. Well, with that in mind, I'm trying to get my thought back. Okay. So what it looks like is, and also if you ever read Program to Kill by Dave McGowan, please read it. I have a link for it. I might have it back here. I'm trying not to step too much. Let's see. They move stuff around in here. Oh, banners. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and if anybody wants to write my brother, I forgot. Um, if you want to, and if you would, I thought I had that up. Here's the Program to Kill. Whoa, hello. The Program to Kill link. It's right here. And let's see. Where's Todd's address? I just saw it and then it goes away. Where'd it go? Okay. Right here is this. Anyone want to correspond with J.J. Vallow's biological father, my brother, Charles Vallow's nephew? You can write at Riverbend Detention Center, Dennis, care of Dennis Todd Trahan, 255-717-9450, US 65, Lake Providence, Louisiana, 71254. He would really appreciate it. He loves getting you guys, having correspondence with you guys. It really helps the time pass by, and it reminds him of everything too, of what he needs to be doing, So thank you in advance. I was supposed to share that last week, but I forgot. And here, oh, whoa, I didn't mean to hit that, but oh my gosh. Okay, there's the Program to Kill. But anyway, so they're basically, whenever you hear cult, this is what I've learned. When you hear cult, it's a cult, it's a cult. Okay, well, it's not really what you think. It is not at all what the hell you've gotten from movies and all the, TV and just whatever, pop culture. It's not at all that. I mean, it is, but it's not. It often involves a lot of maybe like human trafficking. I don't know anybody who's human trafficking. I'll give you one guess. Who could be doing that part of it? There's another one in the headlines too. You might have heard of him, Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs. Yeah, human trafficking. Well, Tim's kind of probably he's probably clenching right now too, because there's federal lawsuits against him. And I mean, I'm like this, please, please, please. Just please let these people at least look like they're being held accountable. Okay. Just please make them look like they're being held accountable. Don't let the dude raise money. Okay. For his damn defense fund. What kind of shit is that? That is not justice. I mean, please do not donate to Tim Ballard or his cohorts. Okay. I mean, you're not, in my opinion, it's not to a good cause. That's just me. Do your research. Hey Robbie, how are you? Hey Ravina, how's it going? Y'all just hear me ramble, huh? I'm a tech whiz, just like Jen. I too was hacked. The unlucky part for the group doing it is that they are sloppy. They are very sloppy. And I mean by they, I'm talking about the shadow people. Not not those shadow people, but well, maybe. Hell, I don't know. Anyway, so let me try and okay. But what I think is going on is there seems to be people like Julie Rowe, like Chad Daybell, actually not like Julie Rowe, Chad Daybell, Tim Ballard, uh, Jody and Ruby. They were like kind of a whoa. I was not expecting those chicas. Okay, was not expecting those ladies there. Yeah. So that was a surprise, I guess you could say. But it seems like there's this movement, okay? And that movement is funded by general authorities and leaders of a church, allegedly, who, have made some really questionable and expensive paying tithing money even, allegedly, I would think, or Jesus's money, somebody's money, okay? To, like, people like Gordon Bowen who, I mean, allegedly, for, like, a quote, unquote, like, a $20 million Jesus movie that never was produced. Is it a Jesus movie? Why is everybody taping everything? Why? I already know the question. I already know the answer. But, like, so Tim tapes everything, Diddy tapes everything, Gordon Bowen was taping everything, and then Jason Mao, he was in a movie taping everything, huh? Hmm, just saying. These people go the this is a secret society, straight up. Anyways, hey, little Brands, what's up, girl? 3 hoes twerking. Stop it. Keep it up. Yeah, the not so secret society. Yeah, them. Those ones. Well, it just seems like Chad and well, actually my family, the ones that were unalived, who aren't here this holiday season again for this is what, this 5th or this is the 6th year? I don't know. Too long without them. 2018, yeah, into 2019 was the last time I, saw JJ really well, I saw him after that, but really spent time with them together as family was, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day of 2018 into 2019. So that's right whenever Cholo and friends were planning and plotting their demise. Okay. So it's so crazy to think about that, like we had no idea at all what was heading straight for us. And I mean, I say us, for them, for the victims, but holy hell. Anyways, um, well, all right. I think I pretty much gave it away. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, but whenever I look at the dates for like Visions of Glory, when I look at, that's 2012, when you look at the dates for whenever, I mean, people have said that are, witnesses and know knew M. Russell Ballard, the quorum of the 12 apostles that passed away in November of 2023, that basically allegedly said that M. Russell Ballard was behind Tim Ballard, you know, quitting his job, working for HSI, Homeland Security, right? The very ones that need to be investigating his ass. Okay. But okay, so he quits his job because he just can't take it no more. Whatever. I forget his little spiel. It's you can see right through that dude. Anyways, so that's cropping up and then reading this document about, Julie Rose online movement, I guess you could say, her presence and everything. She starts cropping up around the same time. Boom, 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 books are coming out. And I mean, they're like these marketing machines. And it's like they're meant to divert and distract and exploit. Don't you forget it. Exploit and bring people into the covenant, the church, which will, I believe they're aiming towards the whole church as a whole appears to be, in my opinion, this is just me. Don't come at me. Just this is my opinion. I'm allowed to have one. And I'm glad to hear you out. Please. Nobody ever wants to entertain this. But I mean, with the church marking a GPS, the Google Earth maps and everything, with them marking and changing Moroni that used to symbolize where a church was, now they're putting crosses all over the map. And if you think about it, y'all, this okay. Whenever Lori there's text messages, I forget between I think her and Chad, and I think she's talking about Melanie Pulaski's kids when she says something about I don't even remember. Something about, one of the kids or whatever drew crosses on the wall so the evil one can find them, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Evil crosses? Those are crosses that the kid drew on the wall, allegedly, and you're saying that that's going to tell the evil one? Inverted." Okay, I'm just like, "So what the heck is the church doing? Is he put are they putting crosses all over the map for the evil one to find us? What the hell? What the hell?" It doesn't it's inverted, and so, anyways, that's just one of my little theories. Um, yeah, and just studying everybody in and around the whole Sean Diddy Combs thing, and I'm just like, "Mm-mm, these people are outright saying, 'Oh, yeah, God, 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 God,' but I promise you, honey, it is not, uh, the same one that I believe in. Whether you believe in God or not, they definitely believe in the God that they worship, and so, um, that's the whole inverted part, and it is so freaking like, wow, in plain sight, straight up in plain sight. But it just seems like there's shit rolling down from shit does roll down, the snowball effect or whatever, and so I feel like Janet Russin maybe, mhm, allegedly could have been, those, readings that she was given to Tim. It really seems to me like they were messages maybe from the Mormon Mafia, about what to do, Tim. What you gonna do, Manchurian? I think that they tried it before with Romney, and that failed. Emerson Ballard was really interested in Romney's, campaign, presidential candidate. I'm not political, don't come at me. I don't give a shit. I don't like none of them. Okay? They're all nasty. It's pick the lesser of two evils, straight up. I think they all go and yeah, I think they all go you know what I mean, behind closed doors. But, yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, yeah, it's all a ruse. It's all a ruse. It's all a ruse. I know that much. Yes, but I like Robin Hood. Don't don't use that language. You gotta, like, abbreviate it or something. Yes. Yeah, that's the whole fear thing, which you just said. Whether I again, I don't know. I don't have the proof. I wasn't there. I'm not there when these things go down. However, it just seems similar. It seems like, huh, because you're just like, why would they want to do this to children? Why? Why? You want to turn the pain up? Why? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to begin stripping everything away from your children all the way back here or there in Arizona and you're stripping comforts and pleasures and just think love allegedly, if there ever was any from Lori, it was it came at a cost. I'm sure it is very conditional for sure. Her love is conditional, just like what she was taught, I do believe. And her kids are pawns, were pawns, or were everybody's a pawn to Lori, everybody's a pawn to Chad. They believe that they are the victims. Again, this is the whole Jody Hildebrandt, Ruby Frankie syndrome. Same with Levitt and mainly Hamblin and Gordon. Um, they think that the kids are, that they think that like all the perps, they think that they're being persecuted. And you're like, what? And I can't wait for Megan to come out with that on persecution. Hurry up, girl. I know. It's like telling me to hurry up with Julie Rose video. Yes, energy. Yeah, it is. And it's to break them into their parts theory. Remember David Hamlin's parts theory? Remember that? And I was just like, he's a psychologist, or he was, I'm sure he still throws that around, except with peyote. Um, he wanted to break his children's minds and others. Allegedly, there's like 175 people that came forward, allegedly. Whenever, I mean, that's basically the Diddy thing, except the Mormon version. Okay, it's what it is. I've been trying to say that. I've been trying to say that in not so many words. I'm about as subtle as an elephant, though. So, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, I mean, it is what that's where the evidence leads me as to their crazy shit. It's a crazy hornet's nest, and you're just nothing makes sense. They use uh, symbology. They use Christopher Columbus, Mayflower references with baseball references. This is that gumbo. This is that big soup of we're like, what do they believe? It just seems like a little bit of everything, right? Okay. And so that's where that confusion comes in. And that's the whole point is to communicate in plain sight, keep your powder dry, and the Constitution's hanging by a thread. That bullshit that, like Glenn Beck and Eric Mutzos and Tim Ballard, rise up and infiltrate, however Tim Ballard says it's stupid. All the things that they say that are bullshit. Okay. Storyteller, that's another one. Or the little things they do, oh my God. I've had to watch these people way too much. There you go, James. That's a good one. I'm gonna high five you. That's a good one. Mormon Diddy. It is. It is. Straight up. It feels really, I mean, think of how you would look at Chad and Lori's case differently if you had if we had known the affiliation. Do you see how it continues to progress or go undetected? And how, if this is the Gadianton robbers Mormon version of the secret society, basically, I think these people are like, you know, oh, Hitler's people, which is why they projected that onto Brandon Boudreaux, said he was one of Hitler's group, he was so dark. Again, projection, and the evil ones and the zombies, when they project every damn thing, that's the first telltale. That is so easy to pin. I'm just like, oh my God, Captain Obvious. Oh my God, they're so obvious now. Like when you look at them, just like they are, you know, purporting, it's exactly what the hell they're doing. Lori was accusing my uncle of cheating. I hope the hell he was. I hope he was. I'm not playing. I'm just saying, I hope it burns her ass because, she can't share. Lori can't share. That's why she killed him. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Mhm. And they baptized them too. They did. I told Ashlyn, my little girl, my 19-year-old little girl, today she shares a birthday with Joseph Smith. Oh, hey, girl. We were just talking about you. Were your ears tickling? Yeah. Oh, my God. What's up? Happy Christmas Eve before Christmas Eve. I don't even know how to say that. Yeah, I know. And just think about the transhumanism, like Roselle Anderson, Stevenson, well, Roselle Anderson, which I swear to God, Megan, I know you're good with the genealogy. I know, or somebody who is. And I would really like to hone in, if you can. I mean, this is just me. Put it out there. I like the same way that M. Russell Ballard and everybody around them or him and Tim, they always say, "Oh, no relation." They offer that, like, no relation. That's that whole projection thing that I'm just like, y'all are so bullshit, just straight bullshit, okay? Just know that. And so I'm just like, "Where are y'all related?" There's that time whenever, Janet Russin was, and made the front page of this, I wanna say the Salt Lake Tribune, don't quote me on that, but it was, I think it was the Salt Lake Tribune. She showed up on Troy Abel's channel, okay? Right? Hey, I feel bad for the guy, but then I'm just like, "You're a grown man," you know? Oh god, you share a birthday with BTK? Crazy, right? Well, you're on the outside though. Christmas Eve. Okay, thank you. Um, but Janet was like, "Oh no, it wasn't the ancient Nephi that I was channeling, basically." She was like, "It was Tim Ballard's great, 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 however freaking many greats, grandfather, Nephi Anderson." And y'all know I went straight to newspapers.com and I was like, and I found some things, but they're really, really old. I just haven't orbited back there yet. But I feel like M. Russell Ballard is also related to some Andersons. Roselle Hamblin, s- Roselle Anderson is her maiden name. Then she married David Hamblin. Okay. Then she and Hamblin divorced and she got married to Ford Stevenson, right? She's in jail right now. She is in jail. They arrested her in 2022 for um, these allegations. Okay. And so I called it Christmas Eve. Oh man. Um, but yeah, so I mean, they're not letting Roselle out with a bond like they did David Hamlin. Okay. Crazy, huh? Crazy. They never can bring this case to adjudication or they can't ever move it along. It's been going on. Cases, 175 people came forward. Okay. This involves David Levitt, who was the center. He was the target of a another Homeland Security investigation into human trafficking. This is where Jason picks on me and he says, "Ruh-roh, George," or whatever the hell, or I don't know, because I say human trafficking because, anyways, I say enough other shit. But, oh yeah, and so I didn't know who the hell you used to be talking about when you said Tate. I'm like, "Who the hell is Tate Brothers?" Didn't hear about them for the longest, and then I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's." I finally, saw who they were, and I was like, "Oh, I can smell it. I can sense it." Those other brothers that are down there in Florida also, got arrested for human trafficking, and then, you're thinking Tony Robbins, man, his house is right smack dab there, over there with his jet, and that he was literally, according to Lynn Packer and I followed the evidence that he provided as far as the Venezuelan women that I would say, look, they were transported. We'll just say they were it looks like to me they were transported from Venezuela, even got emergency passports to the United States, where they held a fake graduation ceremony allegedly at the U of U, which is University of Utah. Okay, and then like Lynn Packer like request from the school records, and he got everything back and it was like all redacted, straight up, straight up redacted, and they won't tell him anything. And so then not only that, they went on a field trip with Tony's jet, allegedly. I wasn't there. I was not there, thank God. But to the White House whenever whenever, I'm just saying all those people are shitty, okay? I don't trust none of them. And I'm not trying to like, they bring the doomsday. I'm just here trying to figure it out, And this helps me to process it to, try and make sense of it. It really does. So I appreciate it. But just know that I'm not like fear mongering you, okay? Do your own research. Please do your own research. Hey, Divergent. How are you? Um, I mean, I research everywhere. I pull information from everywhere. I take what I need or what can help me or make this puzzle piece a lot more clearer, and then I'll leave the rest, you know? I listen to people who, I don't agree with. I listen to people I do agree with. I listen to everybody and everything, and I just kind of bring it here, you know? We're gonna have to sage this damn place, right? Yes, he's a huge red flag. Huge. Wait, what was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, let me since I don't have anything pulled up. Hold on. So, yeah, I went and listened back to Megan Connor's interview with Lauren, Hidden True Crime. Took some notes, right? And I'm just like, Barry is so in he's secret society. It's not Secret Santa, it's Secret Society Day, where he, um where Megan said, quote, "I think the most pervasive thing that ran throughout the family system was this concept that Barry talked about what he called the lower 95%. That'd be me and you, where he believed that 95% of the population are stupid, sheep, and unattractive people." Has he looked at his wife? I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Just wondering though. And that's huge. That's really I mean, like, when you think about it, that's freaking huge, okay? I don't know how he gets through the damn kitchen door. What how do they accommodate his ego? Sorry, and I slept under the same roof with them people. It's so crazy. And, Barry has contempt. I mean, yeah. So I got this from True Crime Rocket Science, who I rarely, like, even it popped in my algorithm. I was like, "Okay." That's what made me track down the video, with Megan's interview with Lauren on Hidden True Crime, because I wanted to get the direct quote. But he said, "That's huge, not a common belief for the average family. This means that Barry has contempt for his fellow man, for the government, for society, thinks he's special, thinks he should get special treatment." Mhm. And, so when Lori is told she is a god, it actually just resonates with all that gobbledygook in the first place. In the upper 5%, right? And then it made me think about Sean Diddy Combs, and how that's like I want to say the 10%. Don't come at me. I don't know. I mean, do they have punch cards or anything? Where they're just like, here, I belong to this group. I mean, besides Temple Recommends and AARP cards, and you know what I'm saying. And then this blew my mind because I just don't retain everything, obviously. But, and I mean, this was also for Megan. Allegedly. But I mean, boom, right? So maybe Barry was being investigated for sexual I just said sexual. For SA? I mean, I don't know, right? And maybe some CP, maybe, allegedly, on his computer. I don't know. She didn't know either. So don't hold this on her either. Just saying. And then he served time for tax evasion. Remember how even Janice was saying something about Charles and hookers, and Lori said something about Charles and hookers? Well, I remember hearing about Barry and hookers. So where'd that come from? Allegedly, I don't know. He talked about Lori's breastises, um, fried eggs, a couple of fried eggs. And oh yeah, this also resonates big time with me with the SRA and David Hamblin's daughters, the Hamblin sisters, who we have their, victim statements in full detail about this LDS Church of Satan that operates. This would be Lori and Chad's group, so to speak. And they also named the girls hoo-has. Okay, I'm sorry. There's just really no easy way to say that. They're female parts. Flowers. Okay. Um, I remember hearing, and because I've heard even Lauren repeat it a couple times, like that's why she has the Venus flytrap, because it's just like just to represent that, like, it's not a delicate flower, Barry. Yeah, I mean, just, just that, I don't know, weird shit. So he maybe allegedly said that, Lori had a couple of fried eggs on her chest and then paid for her boob job, allegedly, before she competed in the pageant. I thought she bought that with the $17,000 she won off Wheel of Fortune. Man, that's crazy. He and his family believe they are in the upper 5% who are smarter than everyone, more intelligent, more exceptional, and more beautiful. And this is the bottom line. This plays into a lot of Lori's personality. Megan Connor. True crime. I got that from True Crime Rocket Science, so it might not be a direct quote. Sorry. Not, And then, so yeah, I've just been compiling, like, because I want to kind of go in order, just about like, okay, so I mean, how do y'all want to handle this? I do need to ask you guys this. Okay, so we know that Lori, she's got two separate trials in Arizona as well. Pretty accurate. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely never want to put words in anybody's mouth. That I should have named this channel allegedly. Okay, I should have. Did you hear what I said earlier? About Larry and your book? Maybe it's a maybe. I mean, pretty sure. I just haven't heard it from the horse's mouth myself, but maybe tomorrow night, if and when we do jump on and he reads "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" Cajun style, maybe, then maybe you can jump on if you're not busy, you know. Um, anyways, but yeah, so okay, so this is what I want to know. Let me know how you guys want to approach this, because it's very confusing. It's hard for me to leave out things like if that has to do with Idaho. I mean, I'm trying to just really focus on Arizona, and like without the 404B, although like KJ, she I want to say she did a live either today or yesterday, I don't remember. um that they could maybe introduce the 404B, which is past acts or what have you, whenever Tylee comes into the picture. And Tylee will come into the case because, I'm sure Lori's going to blame everything on her first off, right? Ugh. Oh my God. She's vile, yeah. Anyways, but so do you guys want to include Brandon and Charles's, just the whole Arizona as a whole, you know, or, and we'll just kind of like work a timeline, I guess you could say, tentatively, crush a timeline. Nothing to, don't hold me to that, because I really suck at timelines. But Kyle, who's Kyle? Kyle. Unless, yeah, I do. I do. And so here, we'll just keep this up right here. It just don't scroll. But yeah, you're right. Um, so I mean, it's up to you guys. I just feel like I mean, we can discern what's going to be in what trial, by this has to do with Brandon. This does not. But I mean, I just kind of want to get a better hold, a better grasp of what it looked like in the cases of both Brandon and Charles, um, in Arizona. It's so much. It really is a lot. I don't know why she's having two trials, but that's really crappy. It is, and it's not. I don't want Brandon to get. I feel like Brandon's been shortchanged this entire time. He's the only living victim in this entire thing, and I feel like he's been a lot like how my Uncle Charles was, very ladies first, children first, um, just whenever. But he's alive, and she's gonna Lori Hooker Daybell is going to be questioning him. She is going to be objecting to him. She is going to probably be preaching her own damn narrative. She's gonna Daryl Brooks on us, I swear. It's so interesting as far as, like, what the hell how this is gonna go. It's so crazy to even think about it. It kinda makes my brain go crazy or crazier. But I really wish I could throw a website up. I just don't know anything about websites. I mean, I have Canva and I have it they have a thing where you can publish a website or whatever. You can pick out your little color scheme and whatever. And I'm just like, but is that a real website? What do I have to pay? Do I have to, I don't understand the nuts and bolts behind it. So I'm just sitting here when I could be putting all of these damn notes in my notebooks and all these things. I could be putting them on a website. I would love, love, love to have a hub and just share it all with you. It's public service, you know? If I ever wrote a book, it would just be one long ass PDF or something where it just don't hold me to like holding a plot or a direction with anything. If ever I'd like to write a book about my own experience, if ever down the road, I don't even know. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. It's weird. It's just weird to say. But this information is there. I have so much information and it's bursting at the seams. I have it everywhere. I mean, binders and notes upon notes. I've been keeping a journal. Turns out I've been keeping a journal, and it's crazy. You know? Okay. Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, I just opened to a page, and I'm like, wow. And I mean, it contains Tim Ballard, Operation Underground Railroad, M. Russell Ballard, church, beliefs. Oh my God, beliefs. Okay. Belief. Different. And I mean, I cite them and everything. It's like I write, and I mean, I'm just a person who has appreciated, I like to write. Okay. I like to take notes. That's what I like to do. It helps me think about things, process things. And, but I'm not good at like transferring them, but I do have apps that would do that. Transfer them. I have apps that, you just upload, scan them in or whatever. Not saying it'll read my handwriting. I try to write nice and stuff. Um, but yeah, and so I have Chad, Lori, Ruby, Jody from their case, from the Hamblins, from Levitt, from Diddy. I mean, uh, just so many freaking notes. And like I was reading today, and I used to hate reading, y'all. I was like, I hate reading. I'd play categories with my family, with mom and my brother back in the day. I never could think of authors. I was like, I don't know. I hate reading. I hate reading. Used to. And I mean, now it's just mandatory. Like you can't do anything without reading. It's just, oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Megan. You are so busy all the time. And it's just Robbie too. Thank you. I need to do something similar to document my random case of yes, and I yes, in that aspect I can relate with you big time. It's random and I orbit, and I mean with what you're dealing with, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Um, it's just a lot, and I'm just like, I have probably if I could just give y'all access to my Canva, you'd be like, "Oh my god, this girl been compiling some shit." That, it's resourceful. It helps you understand whether or not you believe in it or not. I mean, I'm not trying to sell you on it, I'm not like trying to get you to join the church. I'm not trying to get you to sign over 10% of your check. I'm not trying to, um evade your taxes or you know what I mean, or commit crimes. I'm just showing you where I've been, and then, you do everybody has their own journey. Your journey is not the same as mine or anybody else's in this chat, but I think it's interesting because I really do think that this movement is Tim Ballard. I think it's like Mitt Romney was like, a failed attempt at having a president in or having a Mormon president. And I think maybe I'm sure there's been people before, and I'm sure they're working on one now, because Tim kind of fell short. Or maybe not. Maybe this might help his political career. You never know. But with all these monkeys, they're crazy. They're some crazy monkeys. um, but let's see. I had to delete some of my videos from StreamYard because I pay for 400 hours, and I mean, I've been toppling over the 400 hours way before Chad's trial even. And so I have to go and like delete some, and I'm like, okay, so I have this uploaded to YouTube. I have to sit there and play that game. And yeah. But anyways, I found this today, and I'm like, there's so many things that I do have that I could make videos out of that I've never shared. There's so many like that, but they are a monster to actually edit. And again, I don't talk very good. I told y'all what happens when I turn this camera on right here. I get all it's craziest thing ever. But yet, I mean, I've I've been a cheerleader. I've been in school plays where I was the lead character or had the lead role. I memorized like so many pages of notes. And now I can't fit anything in my damn brain, and I can't make things make sense. But this stuff is nonsensical, if I'm just being fair. Okay, so what was it under? It was, and I was like, wow. Did y'all see also that Paul from reporting live from his sofa, reporting live from my sofa, he started back on Visions of Glory, and I was like, "Yay!" So I left a comment, and I was like, "It's so much bigger." It's not really so much about the book, although it's been a huge, huge um, clue multiple times in this case, in Chad and Lori's case. I mean, there's not a time when this book wasn't present. It was right there on um, the nightstand. Lori didn't have much furniture, right? And the little that she did have, she made sure to spoil it, okay, with Tom Harrison's book, okay? This is where my uncle was unalived. This is on Lori's nightstand next to her bed, the only bed that was in the house. And there's JJ's iPad, and there's Visions of Glory. And old Tom, right? Tom Sawyer. Okay. Anyways. And I mean, I'm just like, well, who's really the cult leader here? Huh? What? All these connections. It's nuts. No. 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 And it does go to it through Kanye West, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. That's just this side. I've already tied him up to that other one that had an island that died. Remember him? Yeah, I've already tied that end of it. And yeah, I need to change these out. I have the same old damn ones. They're all tired. What the hell is that? Oh, okay. Oh no, that's okay. Anyways, let me get back to what I was doing. Oh, there's a lot of these. Oh, I just need to relax and stop putting pressure on myself. I do that. Let me just read. No. Oh, right here. I think so. Let me see. Mm-mm. Now let me go back. That wasn't the right one. It makes you start back over. Hold on. It was at the top though. Should be in this row. And I mean, again, there's so many things that point to they're practicing witchcraft, they're practicing the dark arts. I'll just say there was a sign that was hung up in Chad Daybell's house, not his house, but when Nate did the walkthrough right the day before, it was actually torn down. And it said Ray's playpen. And I was just like, oh, Ray? Like the one y'all said Alex named himself? Ray? No. It's just like, no, who is Ray? Is that another alter ego? Is that another part? Is that another alter, basically? And that's why Lori says, scene. I come to this scene, and I'm like, they are programmed big time. And that needs to break down too. If you're more MK Ultra looking stuff, I don't know everything. I don't know hardly anything about that stuff. But the little bit I have read about it, I'm just like, oh, that's the blueprints, and that's the whole MK Ultra thing, and the programmed, and the weird shit. Okay. I'd like to know more about it. I think maybe I probably not, but it probably would help. Let's see. Oh, this sucks. I know it said something like CS. Hold on. The things I name these things. It's funny. Maybe this LDS church hierarchy. Oh, that's a loud fan. Nope. Damn it. All right. It's close. I'm close. I'm not giving up now. I don't give up. They're just worth it, man. It just needs to come to light, I do believe. And it sucks having so many iterations of the same case. I have the dark side I can present, and I have the light side or the mainstream version I can present. It's just like, what? Why? It shouldn't be two versions. It should just be the truth and then lies, or whatever. Their shit. Okay. It's not, oh. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen so y'all can look at them with me because I don't want y'all just staring at me, and I'm just looking at the screen. Okay. And then you can see how much I don't title these very well. So, it doesn't help that they're kind of all titled the same. Almost, it depends. Like the Chad Daybell ones, the trial days, I need to go back and break them down. I just don't have a staff, I don't have a staff working for me that can just pump that shit out. I have emotional ties and I had storage limits. Oh, here it is. Here it is. A comprehensive case review of him. Now, this is me without. Welcome to Difficult Research. My name is Crushy Easton, and today we are going to go over investigations and ritual abuse. On February 21st, 2024, the House Judiciary Committee voted 10-1 for HB 196. And we are on to the Senate. Thanks to everyone who has supported these efforts, and thanks to the victims like Brett Bluth, who went to speak at the hearing, and advocates. All right, let me scooch up. Support Goel at Rumble, at the term believers. Well, isn't that something? Well, what? Well, as, quote, the theory that an event or phenomenon occurs as a result of a conspiracy between interested parties. What? Specifically, a belief that some covert but influential agency typically political in motivation and oppressive in intent. Typically political in motivation and oppressive in intent, is responsible for an unexplained event, unquote. It
Okay.
cites an
Oh,
Adam Codyman.
see,
Or
I gotta
their
edit a lot
allegations were
for that.
consistent with other ritual abuse allegations, and that the Hamblin
Trigger
girls
warning.
detailed being forced to eat and
That's probably not gonna be a good sentence. Anyways, yeah, just take a screenshot of that if you wanna hear. But Goel had compiled this is a 490-page document of this entire case from beginning to end. And I mean, again, it really does to me seem that this is exactly what Lori and Chad were doing. Chad is from this part of Utah where this group tends to pray. Okay. And they blend in with other church members, yet there are countless stories of these horrendous child SA and torture, all the things. Red rum right here. See where it says right here, second, or there's this one line, and it says what followed Catherine Hamblin's 2012 report was even more bizarre. And then here, and then just go down. They were sealed to blood relatives and forced into. They were impregnated by their father, grandfather, and then things, that are horrendous to talk about. But after the new year, I'm going hard. Okay, just know that. So, I'm just kind of letting you know how I'm going to approach this. I'm not going to do the. I'm not going to soften it anymore. I'm going to read it verbatim, however it is. I don't really make anything off of YouTube anyway. So, whatever. I'm just tired of. It's already a lot to process, much less to sit here and tiptoe around search engine optimization and monetization and all the things that they use to control us with, in my opinion. So it is what it is.
and let's get
Oh,
translation.
right here. This part right here. It says the Hamblin case was yet again in a state of limbo. No. Let me go up here. In the aftermath of the 2014 dismissal of the charges against him, the Provo Police Department forwarded their case files to the Department of Homeland Security, where Special Agent Adam, I think it's Coneyman, I don't know how to say his name, and analyst Noel Ingalls of HSI began investigating the allegations. By 2020, Comeyman and Ingalls were preparing to subpoena Curtin McConkey's abuse hotline. They were also preparing to interview other named victims within the Hamblin victim statements and police reports. When COVID resulted in shutdowns and ended their ability to travel to interview victims, the investigation was effectively paralyzed. By August 2020, Coneyman and Ingalls were reassigned to other cases. The Hamblin case was yet again in a state of limbo. Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith began his investigation, focusing in part on an illegal adoption. Okay, this is that little girl. Coneyman and Ingalls had uncovered involving Utah County Attorney David Overland Levitt. That's Michael Levitt's brother. Their parents are bazillionaires. Okay, they also have crematoriums and funeral homes, ice cream shops, a castle in Scotland, and David, he denied that he was a cannibal and that he was a murderer. He denied all that. Okay, so you must believe him because that's not, his behavior is not weird at all. And the allegations against him aren't, anyways, but, and he's also, and by he, I mean, David Levitt, he's also after Arthur Knight. Remember Arthur Knight, who was extradited from Scotland? I think it was Scotland. Who he was like, oh my God, that's not me. He even faked his own death, yada, 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 allegedly. And it's actually Nicholas Rossi. Well, anyways, they extradited him to Utah. He's there awaiting trial, still pretending like he's Arthur Knight, even though they drew DNA blood or DNA samples and it matches whatever. And but yet Nicholas Rossi, aka Arthur Knight, he's also a victim of not like the Franklin scandal, but some kind of boys' home. I don't know the specific name, but it's something like that where it's generational. Basically, it's like they do unto others as they have had done to them. Basically, it's a whole nother Diddy ring. Basically, it's the Mormon version, in my opinion. So it says, who was okay, so focusing in part on an illegal adoption Coneyman and Ingalls had uncovered involving Utah County Attorney David Overland Levitt, who was an alleged member of the LDS Church of Satan, according to Rachel Hamblin and her sisters, who accused Levitt of R-wording them and providing at least one polygamous boy for a ritual sacrifice in Spring City, Utah. Trace, I'm not trying to damper your day, but today I couldn't get Jared Brooks off my mind today after I read about the Lost Boys again, and just really it just, I don't know. I don't know much more about the missing teenager Jared Brooks, except that it's super sus. And anyways, was yet again in a state of limbo. Okay, I already said association engaging exorcists to cure. Okay, I'm just trying to skip to David Levitt. Oh, hello.
Stems from an investigation into allegations of a ritualistic child sexual abuse case, that is, in child sex trafficking. Now, County Attorney David Levitt said the case involved a woman who he says was tragically mentally ill and made claims of sex abuse against 15 people. Those are allegations Levitt says were found to not be credible, causing the case to be dismissed. Now, Levitt said during a press conference this afternoon that he and his wife were named in those allegations, saying the two were guilty of cannibalizing and murdering young children.
No.
It was debunked more than 10 years ago.
You don't debunk.
Dismissed.
I take exception to any victim who comes forward and is characterized as tragically mentally ill. How dare you?
I know. Mood change.
The Tribal Social Services looked at us and said,
"Tell me what you think."
Giving you this baby.
This video was recorded
I don't blame him.
Documentarian in 2020. It's 17 minutes long, and it shows Utah County Attorney David Levitt telling the story of how he managed to adopt a tribal infant in 2017.
And finally, this strategy comes into my head. And if you got 5 minutes, I'll tell you the story.
As he describes it, his strategy meant hopping on a plane to Montana, then walking onto the reservation unscheduled to meet with the president of the Northern Cheyenne tribe.
I said, I'm here for two reasons. I said, I'm here to tell you the second reason first. But I'll tell you the first reason second. And I said, but before I tell you the second reason, I want to tell you a story.
His story touches on the importance of family. Then it highlights his close friendship with former Ukrainian President Viktor Yushchenko.
Victor and I have this goal of introducing buffalo into Western Ukraine. And you're a sovereign nation, and you have a buffalo herd, and Ukraine is a sovereign nation, and it doesn't have a buffalo herd, but it wants one.
And he adopted a Native American little girl, allegedly.
We can form a bilateral agreement between the people of the Northern Cheyenne and the people of Ukraine to introduce buffalo to Western Ukraine.
Aren't they making them now? Can't they just make their own damn buffalo?
At that point, he was all ears. And I said, that's the second reason why I'm here. The first reason why I'm here is this, that we want to adopt one of your people.
He says tribal president Jace Killsback gave his blessing, but tribal social services did not. So Levitt went back to the president to try again. Watch and listen to how he describes the tribal president
right there with
made a
you.
compelling argument to help Levitt clear that
Not
final
alone.
hurdle and take home the child that same day.
He said, listen, the Levitts are friends of the tribe.
She was.
He's an asset. They're assets to the tribe for more than just this. I left, and 5 minutes later, the phone rang, and it was the social worker saying, I think I figured out a way to get this child to you.
Jace Killsback has declined to comment.
He's so gross,
At the time of
y'all.
this interview, he was in prison for fraud in an unrelated case.
Not every child needs to grow up in the city, green grass, white picket fence house.
It's the same.
It's best for the Native children to remain in Native
know.
communities.
Stephanie Benally, a Native American specialist for Utah foster care, is not just giving her opinion in this interview. She's describing federal law, the Indian Child Welfare Act.
Oh my
It was
God.
passed in 1978 to protect Native American children from being adopted
Allegedly.
by non-Native families.
Prior
Allegedly.
to the act, 25 to 35% of Native children were removed from their home and placed in non-Native homes.
There's such a prejudice in the Native community about a non-Native adopting a Native.
Levitt says the child is family. Technically, she's his step,
Loopholes.
foster, great niece. They might not be related by blood, but ultimately,
Yeah.
the tribe gets to decide who's considered family. According to court documents, the child's biological mother willingly gave up her parental rights, but the biological father did not.
Let me put it this way.
I like her.
I would like our elected officials to be
Yes.
servants of the public and not self-serving.
Linda F. Smith is a member of the Utah State Bar Ethics Advisory Opinion Committee. She also taught ethics at the University of Utah for more than 30 years. She
I like
says
her.
the video is concerning.
I'm smoking,
More
y'all.
ways
So.
than one.
He was clearly politicking to get
Yes.
his way. It was a little smarmy.
This
a
is
way
just
to
a
talk
portion of the
somebody
story,
into,
Kayla.
letting you adopt a child that might otherwise be better raised by the tribe.
David Levitt is the same county attorney who named himself as the subject of a ritualistic
Straight up.
child sex abuse
Then blamed it on them.
investigation. Last month, he announced he is not a murderer, a cannibal, or an abuser. And he accused the Utah County Sheriff of playing politics right before the primary, even though Levitt was not publicly named.
This is not a politically motivated investigation.
I mean, is it
It's so wrong.
disturbing? Yeah.
That's one of the
it is.
detective
You have
investigators.
to kind of separate that and not let emotions affect your investigation at all.
I can't.
Noel Engels is a former analyst with Homeland Security. He confirmed his team had been investigating sexual allegations against Levitt for several years. Then in 2020, Homeland Security received the video and started investigating
Hi, baby girl.
human trafficking.
It's literally our job is to make sure children are safe.
5 months after receiving the video, documents show Noel and his team were removed from the case. He has since filed a whistleblower complaint and received back this letter. You allege that Homeland Security improperly terminated an investigation into allegations involving current Utah County Attorney David Levitt. We emphasize that
Oh my
while the Office
God.
of Special Counsel has found a
No.
substantial likelihood of wrongdoing based on the information you submitted in support of your allegations, our
I'm so
referral
sorry.
to the Secretary for Investigation is not a final determination that the allegations are substantiated.
This is not how you adopt a child. This is how you procure a child.
We reached out to David Levitt for an explanation last week. His spokesperson said
This
he
was
would
years
be
ago.
happy to tell the entire story, but not until after tomorrow's election because they believe, quote, this has no bearing on his performance as Utah County Attorney and is not relevant.
I
We
object.
want you to know we are publishing the full 17-minute clip online at fox13now.com.
I really want to call out Fox 13.
This is what he did.
Are they here?
He called himself out, then blamed them.
Shame on your news station.
He said it was politics.
Shame on Adam Hurwitz.
That's Utah County Attorney David Levitt, upset with Fox 13 News for asking about allegations against him. Rather than answering our questions, Levitt held a news conference to announce he was the subject of a ritualistic child sex abuse investigation that would probably go away soon.
But that
Yeah.
hasn't gone away. Today, prosecutors talked about the case in court. Tonight, Fox 13 News investigative reporter Adam Hurwitz joins us in studio with information about another suspect with ties to Levitt. Adam.
Yeah, Bob Kelly, we want to be clear. We never named David Levitt or anyone else as a suspect,
Projection.
and neither did investigators tied to this case. Most agencies don't want to talk about it, but today in court, a judge asked many of the same questions we've been asking. And for that reason, we finally got a few more answers about the direction of this investigation.
There's no organized ring
Oh yeah.
of abuse. It was debunked more than 10 years ago. It was
Tell it to the
dismissed.
jury.
He says it was politically motivated, but even his own employees now say they disagree.
I would take exception to the suggestion that this is politically motivated. This is about trying to do the right thing for the investigation.
Even though Levitt has been the most vocal suspect, he is not the only one. Another
He's got a
figure
booger,
accused of
straight
being
up.
part of the child
Just-
sex abuse
Just gonna
was
say
Questions we've been
that's my
asking.
job is to
and
point out
employees
boogers.
now say they disagree.
I would take exception
Oh,
to the
I'm
suggestion
gonna just
that
leave
this
it.
is politically motivated. This is about trying to do the right thing for the investigation.
Even though Levitt has been the most vocal.
See, or is that a whitehead or a mole? Something. It's definitely poking out of his mustache, right under his nostril. Nasty.
Suspect, he is not the only one. Another figure
Ugh.
accused of being part of the child sex abuse was just in court today, trying to get his record expunged.
No, you're not saying
This
too
is his
much,
attorney.
Ravina.
I think it may be politically motivated.
Your Honor, this is the investigative file. So there is
That's all you
about
got?
1,000 pages of,
Just kidding.
information there.
Oh yeah, Ravina.
The Utah County Sheriff's Office has arrested its first suspect in a ritualistic
Now
child
this is
sex
David
abuse
Hamblin.
investigation, but they think there will be more arrests. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Adam Herbetz has been following this story all year. He joins us live in studio with this evening's update. Adam.
Yeah, Bob, we have been accumulating information on this man, David Hamblin, since February.
Trigger
Today,
warning.
the sheriff's office confirmed its investigation does not stop with his arrest.
Yes.
There are still
Yes, Robbie.
multiple victims, multiple suspects. Each story is different, but the common thread is that the allegations are very disturbing.
The
It
first
is.
time we heard David Hamblin's name was in 2012, charged with 18 felony counts of sex
18.
abuse against multiple family members. This video
Yeah.
shows Provo police spending months conducting interviews.
I have all these videos.
Then they recorded an undercover phone call where he confessed, "I am sorry for raping you. I'm not saying somebody in my body didn't do it."
The
The
spirits.
Utah County Attorney's Office dropped the charges. Do you think?
Okay, real quick, I'm going to interject here and say that, okay, David Hamblin, this is the case I've been telling you guys about. It's not just another quote unquote cult, or, it's not, I'm not just like into following or reporting on groups, that have no affiliation to my own family's unalivings. Okay. I believe that this is the same group that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow are involved in. Okay. This is just me, in my opinion. You can take it or leave it. This has been something I've been working on and following and reading and just learning all the ways of these people. And they're very much inverted, just like Chad and Lori. The David Hamblin guy that you just saw that said it was somebody in his body that whatever, he would cast out, quote unquote, cast out evil feminine spirits from Gordon Bowen, allegedly, because Gordon Bowen would be 90% of a female spirit, these evil spirits, and yada, yada, yada. He was kind of allegedly pressured into marriage with this woman named Barbara Timothy, who is a well-to-do, another well-to-do Mormon. Her parents own, I don't remember the name right now, but it's like postage, or I don't know. It's something, very simple, like iPhone or anyways, iCloud, it's very like that. Kind of like the Stampin' Up business, from, what's her face? Hale Gardner. Okay. The Gardner case. That's another case that I'm very interested in. It's just kind of, the whole funeral potatoes thing, just all the code words. You got anyways. That's Shanna Gardner that I'm talking about with the Microsoft executive that was gunned down in front of his little girl. Anyways, Hidden True Crimes covering that for sure. But Gordon Bowen, allegedly, so David Hamblin would cast out the evil spirits, these other energy healers, Melvin Fish, and Kissy Watkins. They're deceased now. Wonder how they died. And again, just when they use these percentages, I'm just like, okay, this group really just is about percentages and numbers and statistics and, how much of your spirit is connected to your body and how much percentage they want to turn the pain up and or tolerance down, whatever, inverted crap. And then like you have so much zombie, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, the birds of a feather flock together. Kissy, yeah. Kissy Watkins. So I don't know. And then it makes me think back to, these are just rumors that I heard from the very beginning of this case of Lori and Chad's case, was that allegedly, I don't know this. Okay, unless Barry damn Cox comes and says, yes, it was me, or no, it was not. That's the only way I can ever corroborate that. And, anyways, but it's alleged that, oh, God dang, mosquito. It's alleged that whenever Lori and everybody flocked to St. George, Utah to go, and that's basically where that's allegedly where Lori met Chad. But I'm with Megan on that. It's just like, you don't just meet somebody and then go to plotting and colluding with your co-conspirators to off your entire family and their family and just, go live in Hawaii and wait it out, not start Church of the Firstborn shit that they keep purporting. Okay. That's bullshit. And I think there's many other players involved who have an interest in this and an interest in throwing things off, because that's their job. This is what they do. This is how they move the conspiracy forward. And this is how you're not tying Tim Ballard with Chad Daybell, with Ruby Frankie, with David Hamblin, and that whole, okay, it's all these moving parts. Operation Underground Railroad, all these things are moving parts. It's a whole other monster, basically. But Chad and Lori, my family was basically a part of this movement. Okay, this is the way I see it. It's the only way I can explain it is, these are just like, ooh, uh-oh, we let our ugly get out, and so they're left for them. They have to fend for themselves, because that's part of the oath that they took, and how they have to protect the greater good, so to speak. And that's how these people continue to move and advance forward without detection. And then we're like, oh my God, how come I didn't see this before? Well, because you got to open your damn eyes. I had to, and I just listened to what they say, and with their actions, with what I'm reading about, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, this is that, and that is this, and holy shit, it's a whole other moving, just all these gears, right? Everything's just interlocking and rotating and all the things. But it makes sense, it makes sense to me, in the sense that this is why Lori doesn't talk. This is why she is talking the way she does about the scenes and the blueprints with Chad, and the code talk, the code speak. It just is everywhere. It's everywhere. And I don't know. I just have a brain for that. I just kind of pick it up and I'm like, if I hear it once, I'm just like, that's an odd thing to say. And I hear it again and I'm just like, okay, let me jot this down, and then after that, it's just been, just tracking it everywhere I can. So they're not so secret combinations. And you got to think about Melanie Gibbs' letter. to a vow, 7 pages, y'all. She has not one time. I mean, there's that one time, I want to say the second day of Chad Daybell's preliminary hearing after Melanie Gibb testified the second day, right? She didn't look like she was drugged up that day, but she really did look like she was drugged up the first day. Whoa. She was like this. And her eyes were fluttering, and I was like, good Lord, she's gonna fly away. To me, it looked like she was on a sedative. I even texted my mom while they were conducting court. And I was like, oh my God, is she on Xanax? Anyways, I said it in the chat. You know, I didn't have a channel at that time, but everybody was like, shh. You know, it sucks to not. It's like I'm not on I'm on the victim side. Okay. That's whose side I'm on, justice and truth. I'm on the truth side. Okay. Because that's the only way that my family stories are ever going to have truth and justice brought to their stories, and in that sense of the word, in that sense of this whole justice idea. Okay. Because it doesn't vindicate them. I mean, it doesn't bring them back. I mean, if you think about it, Lori is all about continuing to murder their damn souls, murder their legacy. She is down to DTM, down to murder. And I mean, that is apparent, and it really is sad. It's sad, you know. I know. Yeah, I feel like even Tylee's symptoms, and I mean, I have to do some reading into this, you know, but like whenever there's constipation, whenever there's these, if you're wetting the bed, I don't know, I'm not saying that she did. I'm just saying that your kids don't, when something happens to them sexually, and you know, it causes what? The brain to go pff, and so they dissociate. That's that parts theory that David Hamblin, the therapist, uh, that's his goal, and that is these people's goal, is to shatter innocence and to rape our souls, to murder our souls, to harvest them, whatever the hell whatever. I don't know. I don't go there, you know, that they go there. They believe it, and I mean, they act on it. In my opinion, they very much, well, they act on it. I feel like there's more of a concerted effort. I feel like there's a more organized group, unlike what David Levitt denied there. Yes, Ring. And I mean, you think about the Marriotts, you think about, I mean, that was on in Epstein's files over there, Marriott hotels. Then it's Tim Ballard over there, just hee-hawing to every damn country, like a reckless Rambo, LARPing. But he's also, where are the victims? Okay, where are the victims? Not just the women that came forward, thank God, and we've gotten to take a glimpse into this ugly ass picture. Okay, this real true story. There are a wake of victims that we don't even know yet, and they're in third world countries, most likely. Okay, they're in third world countries, so it's already a shitty situation for them. It's corrupt. Can you imagine? Okay, it's so bad. And yeah, I definitely never was like, oh yeah, let me just totally pick up a whole extra case that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, in the beginning, there's no way I tied this together. No freaking way. It just was like, oh, okay, there's this organization Melanie Pulaski may have donated $6,000 to, you know, in Hawaii over there while Tammy was being murdered. You know, why is Melanie Pulaski donating allegedly $6,000 to OUR? And then why did Chad and Tammy's Spring Creek Book Company, why did they sponsor Operation Underground Railroad the same weekend that Tylee was murdered? I mean, is it like a gathering? And they have to have covers, you know, on these flyers and stuff. That's what it appears to me to be. That's just me. I'm just call it conspiracy Christmas, okay? I call it reality, and I follow the evidence. I follow the facts. I follow what they say. I mean, Somebody's got to damn do it. Mainstream media. I mean, I remember whenever Lori, it was just about time for us to go to trial for Lori. And I was about to leave to go to, what the hell? I was about to leave to go to Boise. I had not done any interviews. Didn't want to. I mean, I was just like, I just want to lay low. Okay. I'm behind the scenes kind of, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't know where this went. I still don't know where it goes. I'm just here gathering and collecting evidences and just trying to put this together, whatever. But so we go to Boise. Right before I went to Boise, I finally, I'm really observant. I like to kind of feel things out. There's Justin Lum that I was considering, because I mean, I had talked to my lips are doing that thing again. It's like always towards the end of the live stream, right? Anyways, so but I still wasn't, and I'm still not comfortable like just saying, hey, okay, so I think it's this, I mean, what I share here, and it's so bad, I get it. It's like, ooh, I if it didn't happen to, in my opinion, if it didn't happen to my own family, to these two kids right here in the corner who aren't here to open presents, who's not here to ring in the new year, okay, who's not here to enjoy another breath of life, okay, then I'm doing it for them. It's only this is the only reason I think that it even caught my attention to begin with, because I mean, it shook my world, it rocked my world. And I can understand why, or how other people, if it hadn't happened to your family, then you're probably like, this bitch is crazy. And I mean, I've asked Jason many times, I'm like, don't hesitate to tell me I'm crazy or I'm wrong. He's my first roadblock, straight up. I'm like, okay, here we go. Hurdle, because it's like I have to, I toss it up to him and I'm just like, And I'm like, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know how to explain a lot of things because it's just so out there. But as I've collected more and more understanding, I guess it's become easier and easier to talk about it and maybe show examples or present it. I don't know what else to do. I know the mainstream case. I know what the prosecutors presented in Idaho. I know what Korhor is going to try and present. And I really don't know. I don't know what she's going to present in Arizona, but I mean, I'm sure that's how they're not going to go way outside the box. They're just trying to nail convictions. That's it. That's why they didn't charge Chad Daybell. They recommended charges for Chad Daybell to be held accountable for my uncle's murder, which he very well should be. He is all up in it. I mean, he is in there like swimwear. Okay. Chad is like this. He's stirring the cauldron. Okay. And he's got his little witches to just throw little, ingredients and herbs, Audrey Baratero. They all have an interest in this. They all have their roles, and I mean, it's so hard to talk about because it's not actually, if it wasn't for Diddy, the Diddy case, I don't think I would even feel this comfortable or even more comfortable to even talk about this. It's like once you step there, there's no going back. I'm already labeled, I'm sure, as a conspiracy theorist, or she's crazy, or that's just too outlandish, and therefore it's unbelievable. And I'm looking at, okay, here's I have my mom gave me a cross necklace and I have a little bit of my nephew's ashes in it. Okay, that's proof. That's proof. Okay, these kids are dead. Charles is dead. Tammy is dead. How many? Joe is dead. There's so R&E, Ruby, Frankie's two children were almost dead. And I really think that Melanie Pulaski's kids were and maybe still be. I don't know. I still don't feel comfortable about her having custody of her children. That's just my opinion. I'm just like, I don't. Has she redeemed herself behind the scenes or something, and I missed it? Oh, thank you, Beach Bum. I wish you a Merry Christmas too, and a bright and prosperous New Year, full of health and love. And we appreciate you all so much, and we do appreciate you all so much. I love you guys. I think so too, Sheila. I do. I think so. It is a badge of damn honor. I mean, again, I'm not just doing it. It's just not fun to me. I mean, it's interesting. Trust me, it's like the Pandora's box. It's open now, but it's like I can't look away. If I look, I can't. I can't. I've tried. I've wanted to. I've just been like, okay, just pretend you didn't see that, and just continue on with just the regular case, and just buy it as is, as presented by, Frank Vandersloot owns East Idaho News Media. Okay. And I've got examples where it appears to me and others. Okay. Adam Steed's case is even, the Boy Scouts case is all up in this too. It's just a big, okay. And it's just a bunch of rich assholes who are trying to, get their rocks off and fill their blood. Whatever. Okay. Trying to get their fix and do really bad shit to innocent people, and they whitewash things. And this isn't the first time, and it's definitely not the last. I recognize it now. I'm like, oh no, there's something more going on. I'm not saying I'm the know all be all. I'm never saying that. It just really gives you a whole new look at the world we live in. Straight up. You can't hold, you prepare, if you're going to hang with me after the first of the year, just if I haven't done it already, or if it hasn't been done already, it's going to shatter your worldview. And I'm grateful for that. Actually, I'm grateful. I mean, I am. It's horrible stuff. It is horrible stories and accounts and testimonies, and it's horror. It's tragic. Okay. But enough's enough. And so I got to get my head out of my ass in order to see, and, I just don't want anybody else to lose family members egregiously and tragically and painfully. I mean, it just really is, there's no bringing them back, but I want to do right by them. They deserve that. That's their legacy that continues on. I get to talk about them. You guys get to talk about them too. That keeps their memories alive. Okay. They're here right now because, I mean, look, Tyler and JJ with his ugly damn Rudolph throwing up marshmallows. Okay. His ugly Christmas sweater with that damn race, that Cars had, and there's Tylee. And they're just not, they're not here, and they were innocent. And they were so, this is how I think. Tylee and JJ, they depended on their mother for sure. They depended on their family unit, and that broke down before their very eyes. I can't even imagine. And I think that's part of the whole pain process that Lori and Chad were inflicting and still are inflicting on their victims. Okay. All the while thinking that they are victims. It's very, very disgusting. But God dang, mosquito. I hate mosquito draw. They love me. Thank you, Beach Bum, again. Yeah, Charles really is the connector. He really is. Yeah. They deserve to not be dehumanized anymore, exploited. That's the name of this game, is exploitation. You can take all the other things out of the equations, but from beginning to end, my family has not stopped being exploited. Okay. And it never will. stop being exploited, because every anniversary, every time they go for parole or whatever, Lori will never have any in Idaho. Chad won't either. Let's just be honest, right? I don't really know the process, but you know what I'm saying. Every time we have to revisit these things or whatever, and they'll have a dateline in 2020 and just the bullshit, it's same old, same old. If we keep doing the same thing over and over again, then expect the same damn results. Okay. And I just am not, nope. So, don't follow me, because I may not lead. And what's that saying? I thought I put it right here. I love that quote. I can't ever remember it though. And I thought I found it. Yeah, here it is. Yay. I actually found something. It says, "Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend." Albert Camus, I think that's how you say it. It's true. Like I'm just saying. Good night, Beach Bomb. Yeah. Good night. Love you guys. I love you, Beach Bomb. Happy Merry Christmas. And happy birthday, Ashlyn. My baby girl. Y'all, I gave birth 19 damn years ago. And then Zach, my son, he'll be 25, which is crazy. Whatever year it is how old he is. I mean, he's not 2024 years old. He's just 24. But January 1st, he'll be 25. Same birth date as Melanie Gibb. And then today's is Ashlyn shares it with Joseph Smith. So there's that. I'm just like, guess who has the same birthday as you? And she's named a couple people. And I was like, no, Joseph Smith. She was like, oh no. She was like, and he's older than me. I'm like, he's way deader than you, girl. Right. Yeah, me too, girl. I'm just saying, if you're following me, and it's because I'm running, and you best run too. At that point, it's just like whoever can run fastest, okay? Because it's gonna get you before it gets me. The other night, y'all, I went to go throw some damn trash, and I mean, again, I've been watching this stuff for 6 years now, so my brain should be dark. Okay, if they did a brain scan on me, it would just be just dark. And I mean, as much stuff as I do read and stuff. Well, anyways, every now and then, okay. So I was outside. It was eerily quiet. The moon. It was dark though, and it was just really quiet, very eerie. And so I mean, Jason's in the house, in the room. Anyways, and I mean, I'm not far between my burn barrel. And I didn't light anything on fire, just threw some stuff in it. And I get about halfway between my burn barrel and basically my front porch. And there was a dog across the street, and I heard, "Rrr," and I was just like, I don't know what it was, but I even like hurt my middle toe because I sprinted instant. I mean, I have not moved that fast and then stopped that fast, because it's like I told y'all, it was just, I don't even know, maybe 5 steps or 6, maybe 5 or 6 steps from my front porch. I heard that, and I don't know, it was just gut reaction, and I just bolted, and I ran so hard in that little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, or run, whatever paces, feet, I don't know, to the front porch. And I mean, not even to the front porch, and I had already slowed down, I bolted running, and then I slowed down, and I was just like, it was horrible. And I got inside real quick, and then I was like, oh my God, idiot, what the hell? I'm 46 years old, and I'm scared of a damn growling dog. It just was weird, freaky deaky, I can't wait either. I can't wait till justice is served for Charles and Brandon. Then hopefully we won't have to see her evil face anymore. I would love just a segment of just Charles, Tylee, and JJ photos, videos, stories. Oh my God. I thought about that to do it tonight. We'll do that. Maybe for New Year's. That was the last time we had a family, thing. Lori wasn't there, of course, because she was hooking, plotting stuff. That was 2018 going into 2019. And then Uncle Charles, the body cam footage we have is January 30th, January 31st. And I mean, it's just like boom, boom, boom. Actually, when they left Lake Charles or left Louisiana, because we were in Lafayette, actually, that's whenever Zalima and Lori were saying that they were going to hover over Charles's vehicle and cause them to wreck, even though JJ was in the vehicle with him. That's them coming home from here, and it's just like, wow. Yeah. So tomorrow, I do believe, don't, it's not a promise. Okay. I like to be a woman of my word. And so don't hold me to this, because I can't control other people, but I told my daughter about it, about how I wanted Larry to, read Megan's book that she had bought for him whenever we went to Boise for the celebration of life for the kids. And it's the Cajun 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So Larry he read the book there in Boise, the entire book, to me, Mom, and Megan, and in his coon-ass voice, okay? So he was sounding real Cajun, real thick Cajun, okay? And yeah, and my storage was full, so I didn't get to capture it, but Ashlyn said, "Oh, yeah, I told Papa all about it," and she said, "He said he would," so that's just secondhand information, I do believe, but we're gonna see them tomorrow night, so we may go live. I'm thinking maybe we're gonna go live tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, whenever I'm at my parents', and get Larry reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Kunes style, whatever the name of the book is. Megan knows. And I want to see if maybe Megan can jump on maybe for a little bit, and, just have a family, just this. You are my family. You guys here are my family. I look to you, and I lean on you guys. You guys give me a soft place to land. You also give me that, not tough love, but real love, real talk. And there's nothing more that I appreciate than that. So just be real to me, and I'll be real to you. It's all we can do. Yeah. A Cajun Night Before Christmas. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Hover, as in portaling, as in remote viewing. Yes. That's another reason I ran so fast the other night when I heard the dog. I was like, man, I just don't know. Gang stalking, it gives a whole new level of gang stalking to me. I'm just like, what are they doing in their mind's eye? Are they traveling and being little bullies like they are in real life? Or you know what I mean? Whatever the hell that is. Told y'all it's weird. Doody 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 doody. Yeah, that's what portaling is. That's what Tom Harrison was teaching Julie, Chad in the Salt Lake City office. Except they call it portaling. Redefining things. Okay. Just like, oh, we don't believe in past lives. But we were married before in a prior life. Okay. Did y'all know that in Tim Ballard's case, that one of the ops, turns out there's talk of them being married in a previous life too. Tim being John Howland. Yeah, from the Mayflower, same as the Laura Horror. Oh, hold on. I'll share that note with you because I have it right here. I mean, about who Lori was, because I remember this from the very beginning. We'll end on this. Oh, I didn't even go over I didn't go over her emotions, but go to Megan's channel. She has it. Astral projection. Yes. Correct. But these people tend to, they redefine everything and keep it changing, like the name of the church and so on and so forth. Polygamy has been called even felicity, just anything you can think of, rebrand, basically to fool people, in my opinion. Okay, hold on. Sorry, my old-fashioned papers here. It's okay. All right. It says, and I just put Lori and I put Mary French. These were some of Lori's past lives, okay? Not just that she was Elena or whatever. All the things. Mary French, that meant she was the wife of Robert Smith. Okay. Robert Smith Jr., which was Joseph Smith's third great. She would have been Joseph Smith's third great grandmother in a past life. Okay, whatever. Then it says number 2, Prophet Moroni's wife. And so I wrote, allegedly, Jason Mao gave up his sealing so that Chad could be sealed to Lori. So I just wonder what that means. In Temple Talk. All right. 3, Elena, daughter of Judas, married to James the Just, equals Chad Daybell, equals brother of Jesus, right? Brother of Jesus. Don't they believe that Cain or whatever, Satan is the brother of Jesus anyway? So there you go. I don't know what that means. What the hell's that noise? And then number 4, it says Lania, Lania, equals Methuselah is what I wrote. I don't know. And then I'm telling you, I got some really good notes. I'm not right here. But so it was Mary French was also a passenger on the Mayflower. What is their obsession? What's Tim Ballard's obsession? What's Emerson Ballard's obsession with this whole Mayflower thing? What this is where Christopher Columbus gets dragged into this stuff. Okay, this is why everybody's confused. Okay, because they just throw it all in. Then you got Julie Rowe doing all the call out, which is basically saying, "Hey, we're having a gathering here." I've been listening to, unfortunately, Julie Rowe's podcast again, and like the Great Gathering. What's the other one? Oh, her Witness of Christ. And I'm just like, okay, I'm starting to pick up on the coded language. And I mean, again, after the first of the year, I'm gonna go full on. We're gonna have to get helmets, okay, with aluminum foil, because I'm just not gonna hold it back. It's time. It's time. The time is now. Straight up, it's past time. I just that's going to be my New Year's resolution, to just try and be more effective with how I do communicate and deliver, the stuff that I do find, and try to have a website, try to organize it or have it to where it's public and it can help anybody and everybody for millennia. Okay, for millennia. I gotta go. Except I get to put on lip gloss and Lori does not. So remember that? Remember how she was worried about her lip gloss? So I get to go put some on and she does not. So yeah, I've been reading about this too and listening to some things about this whole. Wow. Oh, I was talking. That's not it, but I thought it was. I'm not that smart. I'm really not. I'm just like, I try. I'm like, I don't understand. Oh, there was a lady earlier on a TikTok video that was playing, and she was like, "Oh my God, tell me why the number 9, you multiply it times anything." Even, and I mean, just blew my mind at the very end. And she was like, "What about 144?" And she was like, "Okay, hold on. 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay." Then she was like, 2 times 9. And because that's the one I did in my head while I was listening to her. I was like, 2 times 9. I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, And I was like, 18. I'm like, that's definitely not 9. And she was like, 8 plus 1, 9, the 18. Anyways. And then she was like, what about 144? And I was just like, well, I don't know. I don't count that high. And she goes, she was like, how'd she say it? 4 plus 144. So 4 plus 1, or 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. I'm like, oh, So she's like, good, get your calculators out, do it, and any number, it all goes back to 9. And some of you guys know what 9 means in this group for the illuminated ones, Never heard of that. Maybe seen it, but I'm into CIA drawing of her. It's interesting, huh? They're like, nah, yeah, it's not useful. We're just gonna throw that in the crap. in the crapper. And then they declassify it, and then I'm reading it, and I'm just like, I don't understand half the shit, but I see vibrations here. I see the and the whole at one ment, the atonement at one ment, and just all the things, the harmonic balance, and the do re mi fa sol la ti do, the 7. You know what I mean? Like there's Lori and Chad. Their group was over music and healing. So there must be other departments, okay, in their little satanic tower, okay, where, well, this tower goes down into the ground, I'm sure, because it's inverted. It's an any. Joking. But they were all about the color green. They were all about Raphael and Enoch. There's these charts that I have found that I would love to publish and share with you guys. And I mean, remember that term South or SSW? Okay. That's even on some of these documents. It's like a combination, so to speak. It's a rituals, I guess you could say, a ceremony. Who goes where? This is the blue team, this is the green team, basically, except I don't know. And then Julie's the call, she's the bingo caller. She's like, she calls and does these that voicemail that we heard. I think that maybe the guy that spoke out about Julie Rowe and with the voicemail, Adam Vance, I think his name was, with all due respect, I understand that's, he went on Left Undone's channel, and I mean, I can't let it go. I can't let it go because it fits in so well. And I mean, everybody has a role. The way Julie spits out these, presidents there at the Oval Desk, and he's clinking his wine glasses, and the dominoes fall, and all her little trigger code words. Okay, that's what the hell she does with her Illuminati signs, and her little whatever the hell she does. Okay, so I mean, this is what happens. This is how this looks to me. This is how these people operate. Fragmented people, broken people that they break and continue to break, and they puppet masters. That's how this goes. Jeff Rowe, Julie was married to Jeff Rowe whenever this document was created by Chad Daybell about the first dispensation, the second remember all those weird religious things that came out of Arizona documents. And so they have different, there's different dispensations. Well, Jeff Rowe's name is in the FOIA request. Jeff Rowe Julie was married to Jeff Rowe at that time. Just saying, and even Hidden True Crime had talked to Dustin, or whatever his name is, something Thane. I mean, he was also in the FOIA docs, and he's like, no, I don't believe in the Church of the Firstborn. Deny. And you're just like, maybe not. But, you're a Freemason, you're something. There's some kind of brotherhood going on, dude. And sometimes it's not just the temple, I'm learning. Sometimes it's not just the church. I mean, they kind of all go in and around the same areas. Either way, you're going to find the Freemason in the temple, and you're going to find the temple in the Freemason, because anyways, history on that. But, and it's a secret. I mean, basically a secret society, because you have to have a temple recommend and be a member of the church to even, you have to answer questions and go through a test and, and get approved and to go into the temple. What, to plot murder? I mean, that's what my aunt did. She went to the temple where she was going to murder somebody, but then turns out she just did them both. She was just like, oh, well, to hell with it. I'm going to get my temple recommend and I'm going to murder. I mean, what's the damn difference? She don't make no sense. Yeah. Yes. But her dad was a chaplain. Okay. They're not, I heard, don't quote me on this, but I heard from somewhere the other night that a chaplain actually isn't religious. They just, I don't know. Wish I Were Here. I was like, that's a good song. Wish You Were Here. That's Pink Floyd. I don't know why someone would be with Julie Rowe. I would be scared to sleep. Right? Oh, yeah. Sleep with that one left eye. However she does. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of sharpening up on now is all the symbolism. It's huge for Lori. It's huge for Chad and this group. Summer even was using these male-female signs too, which, oh my God, just look into that, the male-female sign symbolism. And I'm just like, ew. The chakras, which Kanye West, anyways, it's just montage this guy does where he just reacts to TikTok videos. Okay. So that's how I see TikTok videos is through him sharing them. Okay. But anyway, so Kanye West, and I think Kanye West is allegedly where this connects, where Tim Ballard and Sean Reyes would connect to Diddy. Birds of a feather flocks. I mean, this is what they do. They just moving them around. Tim Ballard talked about tunnels. He worked in the tunnels also for 6 months, and he had the best time ever. I'll have to find that stuff. You know, there's one video that's no longer there because of he's not with the Operation Underground Railroad, and I didn't have the wherewithal to screen record it so that I could have it. You know, anyways, so many things. It's like you need a whole damn network just to keep up with the network. You know, these people they move. They are always moving. They're movers and shakers for sure. But doesn't it just make you want to join the church and the one world government? Don't it? I mean, don't it? Don't you just want to rent your Christmas tree for $25? No. Don't you want to have your name changed? And they'll assign you one, you know? Just do what they do. Just do what they tell you to do, not as they do. Do as I say, not as I do. Right? Yeah. Oh God. Ooh, okay. I mean, that dude is just as fried, in my opinion. I'm just like, he is just out there. He's out there. I never did really. Anyways, but they make up my generation for sure. Music, the culture, you know, and that's a whole other conspiracy all in and of itself. Is just to introduce, you know, crack cocaine to break down the family systems, not just the crack, but HIV and just all these things. And you're just like, oh my God, it's just like nothing was as it seemed at all. At all. You know, everything was a lie. They lied and they lie to us. And it is what it is. And so, you know, we just have to take that power back because they are definitely on a flipping power trip from hell. Literally a power trip from hell. And I ain't scared of them. I'm not. Take me down too. Thank you, Lynn Bree. Thank you. Very thoughtful. Oh, and God dang it. Of course. Thank you. I appreciate you. Mom had sent me this earlier. She sent me from Salt Lake Tribune. She sent me a story that says, listen, how a Utah couple brought down a prophet and how the Tribune reported it. So I don't know. Do y'all know? I'm like, I've not even clicked on it yet, but I was like, looks inspiring. Thanks for sending. Right? So it's power in numbers, my friends. I can't do this by myself. And I don't do this. I have not done this by myself. Well, there's so many of us on the side of truth and on the side for victims, especially those who are muted, silenced, and deleted from this earth, you know. They can't delete the truth. They're gonna have to come after all of us. And that's not a challenge. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, I'm Donna. Wake up, Donna. No, I'm joking. I usually put her to sleep. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins. And you guys are proof of this. Merry Christmas, okay? And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.